Hello, nerds of the internet. My name is someone you probably don't even want to know. I am Billy. I am friends with Yang the Insane, as the joke seems to go on about. I am joined by two weirdos. Introduce yourselves.
Greetings once again, ladies and gentlemen. It's Jar Jar J.
Hello there, everybody. I'm Saber King. I am wandering onto this podcast.
Is that an intro to the podcast, or is that your intros to your own death battles?
Saber King, is this your new name?
Yes, it is. It's a new brand, new persona. You know, Jedi Bender is so last year.
I will admit, Jedi Bender just sounds like a Star Wars porno parody.
No, it sounds like a Star Wars character fused with an Avatar character, and they just came out as this monstrosity of overpoweredness.
I will admit, an Avatar and a Jedi blended together, you would create a monster.
Yes, you would, and I was that monster.
Anyway, on topic. Back on topic.
Yes.
We're here
Richard,
to talk about Death Battle.
Okay.
Yes, we are here to discuss Death Battle. We are going to talk about the previous season, some of our favourite episodes, at least favourite episodes, and of course the recent episode that came out, as well as the next time. If you've not seen any of these episodes, well then tough luck. You shouldn't be watching this in the first place, you idiots. We're going to spoil everything. So, guys.
Welcome to the show. We insult our audience constantly.
We don't give a shit.
Sue us.
All 12 of our audience will be greatly offended.
Oh, this is going on my channel.
Yes.
I don't have a single subscriber yet, so...
Oh, okay, then nobody will be insulted. That's good.
Yeah.
My soul
Brilliant.
will be...
Oh.
All right, so let's talk about Season 6 of Death Battle.
You guys discuss it first, and I will jump in whenever I feel like it.
Okay.
Okay.
Overall, after compiling my scores, I'd say it was the second best season of Death Battle.
Oh, I did not expect to hear that from you. I was expecting much more aggressive.
Oh, no, you're going to hear a couple surprises.
Okay.
I'd say Season 5 is still the best one, but I'd say Season 6 is, right, it's a solid second place. It had a lot of great fights. Even the worst ones, I would say, are only they're okay. They're not they don't hurt me. They're not full go over the sector. They're perfectly okay. They're kind of mediocre, but mediocre just means average. So
You could at least watch the fight and watch entertainment.
yeah, exactly. And it's it doesn't hurt you. Ranking them from least to or worst to best was pretty easy. I'd say the bottom three are the bottom two are pretty obvious. I don't think anyone's going to debate this really. Are Aquaman versus Namor and Captain Marvel versus Shazam.
I don't know.
Yes.
I thought Captain Marvel vs. Shazam was one of the best episodes. You said this on a podcast. Yang the Insane, put that clip on right now. Can I ask something?
Go ahead.
Would you say Captain Marvel vs. Shazam was better than this episode?
Oh.
I want to hear
Yes.
it, Jaru.
Yes.
Yeah.
How dare you?
Yeah.
We got it here, folks.
Future Yang the Insane.
I disavow all evidence saying that was true. Fake news. Anyway,
Yang the Insane, edit that bit out.
But no, I think Captain Marvel vs. Shazam and Aquaman vs. Namor were probably the most mediocre, the most forgettable of the season. And then right next to them would probably have to be Weiss vs. Mitsuru.
I really don't want to say that because I was really looking forward to that episode, to be honest. I love Persona 4 and I love, Persona 3. That's where Mitsuru originated from. And I love Weiss.
It's not even just a thing of I wanted one character to win and she didn't, and so I don't like it. It's more just it was a weird fight. It started off weird, it ended weird, and there wasn't a lot of substance.
Mid-fight as well.
I can agree. I can agree to that. Yeah.
So I'd say those
was pretty good.
Yeah.
Well, good, but there were better
enough
looking
fighting.
ones.
Yeah.
Yes.
If there was more of the animation, if there was more fighting, more action, more anything, then I think I would have liked it better. But as it was, it just felt very unsatisfying. It felt like an incomplete product.
Do you know why I actually think you probably don't like it that much? And I won't go too long on this. I think RWBY, or even other shows like My Hero Academia, are not ready for Death Battle Ruby is still going on. The characters are still developing. The story is still going on. They should have waited until after Volume 10, if that's where Monty actually planned to end it.
Well, that's often being something that people bring up is, well, they're not ready yet, they're not done yet, et cetera, et cetera. But ultimately, as I've said, if we wait for shows to finish, we may be here forever, like waiting.
But there are
Especially
so many
with
characters out there you could put in that spot of Weiss. Like, I'd like characters like Inspector Gadget to be in Weiss's place. He's been around for a long time.
Inspector Gadget versus Mitsuru. I like it.
Yes,
I mean, I
I'll
was
take
thinking
it.
more of Inspector Gadget versus Sherlock Holmes, but okay.
No.
I gotcha.
I'll take Inspector Gadget. Go, Gadget. Take my place.
But yeah, so and that's fair. Like that's one aspect of it. But overall, yeah, I think it was just a bit too short. Really, it was just not enough substance. But those are the only ones that I can really call like they're not even bad, but they're like the most mediocre. The rest are good, great, or amazing. Like I'd say the good ones, like they're not great, but the good are the Mega Man Battle Royale, Black Widow versus Widowmaker, Falcon versus Johnny Cage,
Oh wow!
Aang
I'm
versus
surprised you're
Edward.
putting these so high up.
I mean, they're good. They're not bad. They're not even mediocre. They're good. They're well put together. They're not perfect. They have flaws, but they're good. And Deadpool versus The Mask. I'd say, yeah, I don't know. I was going to say it. It's a good episode overall. I think it's flawed, but the production value is there, and I won't deny that. The great ones, though, I think these are like the greats are Ben 10 versus Green Lantern, Lobo versus Ghost Rider, Mechagodzilla versus Dragon Zord, Sasuke versus Hiei, Tatsumaki versus Mob. I think those are all great. Like they're not my top 10, like they're not my favorites, but I think they're all really good. Like better than good. Like they're really fun, really entertaining. Like just generally great death battles. Once again, not necessarily perfect, not flawless, but they're still like so damn entertaining. However, the top two, the ones I'd say are definitely just undeniably the best ones, are Ganon versus Dracula and All Might versus Might Guy.
Oh damn! You put that
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
like no one can really argue with that. The production
No.
value is insane in those episodes.
Oh yes.
Like, and the fact that I put Ganon versus Dracula this high up shows that, yeah, it wasn't just because Weiss versus Mitsuru had Weiss lose that I didn't like it. It was because it just wasn't a satisfying fight. Whereas with Ganon versus Dracula, if you didn't know, audience, I was not rooting for Dracula. But,
How dare you
I did,
not root for what the verse community says? Don't you know the verse community are always right and so polite with their opinions?
oh yeah, they're well, I'm not going to say anything negative because last time I did, I got lambasted on Twitter. So,
It's Twitter. It's people get angry just because you say bum.
It's true.
I should do a tweet that's just bum and see if I get
We'll all
outraged.
do that tweet after this podcast.
Yes.
I probably won't. But anyway, Ganon vs. Dracula, All Might vs. Might Guy, definitely the best ones. I think the production value was just too absurd for me to put them anywhere else. I think they're pretty fantastic. So that's how I rank season 6. What did you have to think, Richard?
Oh man, I think you laid it out so good. I think mine's very similar to yours. Yes, I do agree. Season 6, not as good as season 5, but definitely came in a close second. There weren't a lot of worse fights, like you said. There were more mediocre, average fights, but that's not a bad thing. But definitely the two I would put at the way bottom, are Weiss versus Mitsuru and Captain Marvel versus Shazam. I feel like these are fights that had some potential, but didn't really go anywhere with it, and they ended up just being a shell of what they could have been. The good fights, like you said, are definitely the Mega Man Battle Royale and Black Widow versus Widowmaker. Like, so many of these good fights that have so many good things in them. You know, they're not perfect, like you said, but I definitely think they can compete with the best of Season 5. And the great ones, of course, being Lobo versus Ghost Rider, Green Lantern versus Ben 10, Mechagodzilla versus Dragonzord. Like, these are great fights that I hold to a high standard that I hope season 7 and future seasons can live up to going forward. Mm-hmm. And obviously, the best, like, these are S tiers. Yeah. Definitely got to go with Dracula versus Ganondorf and All Might versus Might Guy. Like, these 3D fights took it to a whole new level that I don't think season 7 and future seasons are going to be able to fully come close to, but I could see one of a future 3D fights, one of these future 3D fights maybe being in that high rank.
Honestly, I don't think I've seen a 3D fight that was this, like, on the level of All Might versus Might Guy and Godzilla, or Ganon versus Dracula, since, like, it was a couple seasons ago, like, stuff like Bayonetta versus Dante and Ratchet and Clank versus Jak and Daxter. Like, it's been a minute since we had a 3D fight just as damn good as this. And of course, Thanos versus Darkseid, but that's sort of its own thing.
Yeah. It's in its own little bubble.
But yeah, I think that this was definitely a pretty damn good season. A great season, even. The score I gave it was 8.75 out of 10. And I give season 5 an 8.97 out of 10.
That might will be the new IGN.
Yes,
I still have never given a Death Battle season a 9 out of 10, and it's just like, damn.
I would agree with that. I would actually go a little bit further. I give season 6 an 8.9, and I would say season 5 is a 9 out of 10. Because because it had such an amazing second half that I don't think I just don't think season 6 could have lived up to that, but it came very close. I definitely think
I do think it came close.
Yes, like, oh my, they tried to outdo themselves.
Yeah, like if Weiss versus Mitsuru had been done like a bit better, and if we had anything other than Aquaman versus Namor, then I'm pretty sure it could have come really close to 9 out of 10.
Yeah.
I think Aquaman vs. Namor was kind of overhated. Like,
well, it's not bad, like I said.
Characters have fought, really. I mean, it makes sense. They're Atlanteans.
Yeah, it's fine. No, it's a perfectly logical matchup. It's just not a very interesting one.
Yeah, no, I would
guess it
say
depends on if you like the characters or not. I guess.
See, that was kind of a problem for me because I'm a huge Aquaman fan. I've always been a huge Aquaman fan, but I never gave a crap about Namor because he's just a ripoff and he's just a bipolar.
I don't mean to be a correction snob, but Namor came before Aquaman. Aquaman's the ripoff of Namor.
But he's a good ripoff.
Oh yeah, absolutely, yeah. Like, I'm not trying to defend Namor. He's a horribly written character. Like, as someone who writes his own stories, Namor is so horribly written. He was clearly just made just to beat up Nazis at the time of when, World War II was about. That's the only reason he was created. It's like, hey, watch this fish man punch Hitler and etc.
Yes, exactly. So, I mean, the fight itself was it was good, but the biggest problem that I had with that fight is it was so forgettable. Like, there were only a few memorable moments, but it wasn't enough to kick off season 6 the way it should have been. Like, once again,
I will give it credit.
Season 5 effect.
Yeah, to its credit, it's not Batman versus Black Panther level.
Oh no! It's slightly
I like that episode,
above.
Man. It's good.
I think it's fine, but
you saying fine just means bad to me.
Well, take it.
Even I gave like Aquaman versus Namor like a 7 something out of 10 probably. I gave it an 8 out of 10. Okay, as a death battle. So when I say something's fine, that means it's fine. But yeah, no. Anyway, so yeah, I think this was a pretty good season. Pretty solid, all things considered.
Absolutely.
As for you, Billy.
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 Brother.
Okay, so season 6. I do definitely think it was a lot better than season 5. I'm going to be perfectly honest.
Everyone has the right to be wrong. It's fine.
Well, yeah, that's why I'm allowing you guys to talk right now.
Oh,
Okay, so here's the thing. Okay, even though I was kind of going on about these guys are being mean about Aquaman vs. Namor, I get why not a lot of people remember those episodes. Actually, I just want to briefly touch on this. I actually have this comment. Took a screenshot of this a while ago. When you guys were talking about this, I had to get it. Someone said Namor would beat Aquaman because Aquaman would struggle underwater.
makes sense. You know, it's sort of like
I can't argue with that.
Yes, the king of Atlantis, the one who specializes in fighting underwater, would struggle underwater.
naturally. Makes perfect sense.
No, yeah, absolutely. That's
It's like how
flawless
Superman has a
logic.
hard time fighting when he's near a sun. Like
Exactly.
it goes against his nature.
A car would struggle to drive with gasoline in it because it's too heavy.
Yeah,
too heavy.
very
Exactly.
flawless logic right there.
Absolutely.
That you know,
They should hire that guy to be on Death Battle.
Yeah, no, you know, like have him write some future episodes.
Okay, I just wanted to get that out just for a few laughs for the people. If you do end up finding the person who made that comment, please don't attack them. I'm sure they just don't really do this much research into characters.
Clearly, they didn't
Okay,
learn that Aquaman, the man with aqua in his name, might be good in Aqua.
Okay,
but
so
yeah,
my least favorite episode might come as a surprise to you guys. Mechagodzilla versus the Dragonzord.
What?
Now,
Wow.
Okay, here's the thing though. The fight was okay, but I had some big issues with it. I just felt like the Dragonzord wasn't really shown at its maximum potential.
I see. I can see. I could slightly see where you're coming
Not only
from.
that,
Like,
a lot of the fight was really predictable how it was going to go, to the point most death battles, I'm not saying I can predict how the fight is going to go just by seeing the character's actions. But the Dragonzord, the way the fight was going, it seemed like it was completely one-sided to the Dragonzord. He would constantly get the upper hand, whereas the Mechagodzilla would struggle. I'm just thinking, are they really just going to do this entire fight with the Mechagodzilla struggling, or... I mean, it got a few hits in.
So would you have preferred... So you're saying you would have not preferred it the other way around, but you would have preferred it if both of them weren't struggling, and that was just having them being at their best. Like, barely anyone struggles. Like, you want to see them be an unstoppable force meeting an unmovable object.
Not quite, not quite. I mean, I get what you mean, but... Okay, look at Flash versus Quicksilver. Who really thought Quicksilver was going to win that?
Nobody.
No one.
Yeah.
Not even Quicksilver thought he was going to win. He straight up said to his daddy Magneto, "Daddy, I don't want to fight the Flash, man. You're going to fight him because it's a Marvel versus DC match, son. We need that win streak."
I do have to disagree, though. I don't think that match was... I thought they did a very good job of being...
That's what I mean, like Quicksilver versus the Flash. Both of those two were giving each other a hard time, but both were also countering one another, both were overpowering one another. It wasn't until the very end, the killing blow, that's when the Flash overpowered the Quicksilver. Whereas in Mechagodzilla vs. Dragonzord, I straight up just always knew that, okay, the Dragonzord's constantly getting the upper hand, so either it's going to just look like Mechagodzilla's going to struggle the whole way through, or he's going to pull out a trump card and win. And when he pulled the blade in, I was like, yep, here it comes.
Yeah, well, I like to make a friendly counter-argument, though.
Go ahead.
Oh, okay. Well, if Jar and I are thinking the same way, then they had to show Mecha Godzilla struggle, because Kiryu is being controlled by Akane. So I get that. Like, I get the robot side of Mechagodzilla is struggling, where you see Akane trying to somewhat adjust to how the Dragonzord is fighting. But then when you take Akane out of the picture, then Godzilla comes into the picture. So I feel like, I don't know. I don't understand quite how they could have handled it, but I thought, I get it. I get it. You have to show Mechagodzilla, Kiryu getting his ass kicked with Akane, and then you have to bring out the real Godzilla to kind of take over.
Okay, well, here's the other thing as well. Like, you guys, I'm surprised didn't want to mention this. Even the analysis part was not entertaining at all. That's the thing. Like, whenever I judge, when I judge an official episode of Death Battle, I don't just judge the fights. That's essentially judging 50% of what the actual show is.
Yes, and that's how it should be done.
I don't. I only judge the fights.
Well, I'm actually going to be.
If I ranked these episodes based off including the analysis, the only one I would have said was any good at all would be the Mega Man Battle Royale.
Oh wow!
I don't enjoy the analysis. I don't think they're funny.
It was an adjustment, but I think the analysis for season 6 was just okay. They were still trying to get used.
Man, it's great seeing Wiz and Boomstick, being like actually in motion and actually showing their wacky sort of personalities through their movements and stuff.
I think it would have been hilarious 60 years ago, but
oh my fucking god!
But
you're fired.
Yeah.
Anyway, Gang the Insane. Turn off Jaru and delete his channel.
Die.
Yeah, good luck with that.
I already did that myself. Single tears. But anyway, so we should probably continue. So Mechagodzilla versus whatever was your least favorite.
It was my least favorite, and I probably don't even really need to say my most favorite, but it's All Might versus Might Guy. I was even saying, like, when I was a guest on Let's Discuss Death Battle, like, Ghost Rider versus Lobo will never get replaced. That is the top tier. Then Might Guy versus All Might come around.
It's pretty great.
It was really good. Now, and of course, I was the only one defending Might Guy when you guys had me on. But you guys were all going, oh no, All Might's going to win. What's going to happen?
Well, yeah, shut up. Well, to be fair, I have to be an asshole towards a Naruto character, even if it's the one I like, because the Naruto community are stupid.
What?
Guys,
you're talking to one, you dick face.
You're the exception. You and Freelancer Amber are the exceptions.
Cool.
I've made a terrible mistake. I forgot to mention Wario versus DDD. That one is above all. It is even above Ganon and Dracula and All Might versus Might Guy. Just wanted to throw that out there. I forgot that was this season. I don't know how I skipped that.
No, it's okay. Yeah,
that episode's okay.
It's the best one of the season. Easy.
It's okay.
It's the only 10 It's the only 10 out of 10 in my book.
Screw you and your Ganondorf notes.
You don't know my notes.
I just want an edited picture of just a picture of Jaru's profile picture, and the nose just gets enlarged. When I say that.
But yeah, so anyway, I just want to throw that out there. Wherever is the GOAT. Anyway, continue.
I completely lost what I was going to say now. Okay, so
All Might versus Might Guy.
Yes, I love that episode, and it was really. I was a bit worried. Are they gonna kind of lowball Might Guy? Because of course, okay, I might get crucified saying this. I just don't think All Might is really a match for Might Guy. I don't.
Well, no, you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
If you think that every random Naruto character can blow up the moon, then yeah, no one's a match for them. But I'm not salty. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, no, totally exactly.
Sound salty right now.
No, definitely not. Yeah, I'm definitely not. I'm completely objective.
I was going into that with that mentality too, Bill, because I was hoping, okay, if you're just going to straight up use Old Man All Might, it's not fair. That's not fair to him. And it's really just not going to be as entertaining.
I do kind of, as a Might Guy fan, I really do regret the fact I never mentioned on the podcast you guys had me on that Might Guy has fought on his wheelchair on the same levels when he could walk. So I kind of should slap myself in the face for that, but I'm not going to because I don't too much.
No, that's okay.
I'm kind
Well-
of annoyed. They kind of glossed over that. They were like, "Oh, and my guy could not fight anymore until he could." All right, on to the episode. It's like, wait, talk about that, you assholes!
Oh, yeah.
Show people why a crippled man is a badass.
Yeah, well, he's not the first crippled man to be a badass.
Oh, name me 5.
I can't, because they're so legendary.
Exactly. Bullshit.
No, they ain't bullshit.
I absolutely love the fact when they introduced Mike Guy in the analysis, they did the, "Hey, what's shaking? How's it going, everybody? Life treating you good?" I love that line so much. It's so random, and the pose he does.
Yes. Oh my
That's
god.
what you would see out of like one of those like high school animes of like someone trying to be cool.
Yes.
He's your embarrassing uncle when he makes an entrance to your friends.
I'll believe that, yeah.
As for the fight itself, the fight was just awesome. I even like the fact as well, it wasn't just, "Hey, you bumped into me, now I have to kill you." It was like, "No, let's have an arm wrestling competition." They were both like complimenting one another. Like, "Wow, you are really strong. Let's kick this up a notch."
That should that be a transition into the season finale?
Yeah, why not? Talk about the finale. That's the thing, I kind of did that on purpose.
Oh, okay.
I'm a genius.
Yes, you are. A 12th level intellect.
I'd say I'm at least a 5.
Okay, fair enough.
So I give essentially my thoughts about Might Guy versus All Might. It was All Might. What did you guys think about it?
All right. Like I said, I don't care about the analysis as much as I care about the production value, which is good, because if I cared about the analysis, then I would not rate this fight very high. But
all the writers right now are just under their desk going, "Some random guy for Canon Thumbnail doesn't like me. He sucks on his fun rolling."
Yikes.
That's a dark
no,
image.
I actually think the animation is pretty good. Like, they clearly tried very hard to make it look good. I think they don't always succeed. I think a number of the effects look wonky.
All Might's
but
eyes just looked weird.
I think overall it was... I mean, the production value is there. I think... I don't think it was the most interesting story to tell as far as these characters go, but that's Death Battle for you. They're not here to tell good stories sometimes.
Unless you count the Whiz and Boomstick parts.
Yeah, good stories, as if.
Exactly.
But no, I think it was really well made. I think 9.5 out of 10 is what I'd scored. Like, it's...
Wait, you said you've never given a Death Battle episode a 9 out of 10?
I've never given a season a 9.
Yeah, he said a season. He's given episodes 9 out of 10.
I've given episodes 11 out of 10. Like,
It's true.
Okay, fair enough. I stand corrected.
But no, I think it was well made. I disagree with their analysis, but you know.
I'm not salty. I don't know what you're talking about.
Salty implies I care. I think it's silly to say that my
You shouldn't
guy
be called
can
JoJo.
blow
You
up
should be
the
called
moon,
Joe
but-
Savage.
Yeah. I like how they went from, well, his final kick must be stronger than Jiraiya's, or like on the level of Jiraiya's mountain killing ball, and then in the post analysis they're like, actually, it can destroy the moon, and it's like, what? Okay, sure. All right, Death Battle. I like how when he used it on Madara, it blew up the moon. Oh, wait, it didn't. Yeah, no, I think there's some questionable...
Are you trying to crap all over Might Guy?
I think he does that himself. But no.
Oh, you son of a...
C tier, at best. Anyway, no, I think it was 9.5 out of 10. I think, not my favorite episode ever, but it was like, it's too well made for me to score it any less than 9.5.
I'm kind of the opposite. I think this episode was a goddamn masterpiece.
High five.
High five. I do agree with Jar. I think the analysis portions, I don't know. I feel like they could have been better. Maybe if they would have bumped up All Might just a little bit, I definitely would have agreed with the points they're making. But no offense to them, but when it comes to them doing scaling for Naruto characters, they always have to compare some of them to Blonde Jesus over there because, the moon feet and all that. So that kind of irked me just a little. But going into it, the animation, all of it, it was very much in character of both protagonists. I very much liked how they were respectful.
I wouldn't really say they're protagonists. I'd say they're more. What do you call? Not a sidekick. What do you call someone who's like not really a villain, but they're like good
supporting characters? I guess.
Yeah, there was another word for it. I'm trying to remember what it was. Someone put it on the screen when this is on.
Mainly in this episode, they're the protagonist. That's why I'm calling them the protagonist.
Yeah, I get what you mean now.
Yeah, no, it's all right. But yeah, I love this fucking I love this fucking fight. It was probably it definitely took me back to the first Goku versus Superman, but it turned it up to 11 with these two characters, and I don't mind the animation. In fact, I fucking love the animation because I'm an animation enthusiast. I love different styles of animation. So going with a choppy 3D mixed with Unreal Engine with some dynamic camera angles to make it feel cinematic in a way that maybe that's what was missing for me personally with Darkseid versus Thanos, but they put it here.
I will admit, the movements of Darkseid and Thanos don't really fit a lot of the characters. Like, I mean, when they're running and stuff like that, it just felt too floaty, It didn't feel like you were watching a giant attacking one another.
No, yeah, exactly. Well, again, in their defense, they were still working out the kinks for Unreal Engine. I think comparing this to Thanos versus Darkseid, you could see how much they've improved in over a year with this engine.
I'm not sure I agree on that one, but
well, Jarvis, just like you said before, it's okay to be wrong sometimes.
Yeah, I think Darkseid versus Thanos was way better than All Might versus Magneto.
What are you smoking right now in Texas? Is it horse glue smidged with a bit of bat urine?
Yeah, I'd say like if All Might vs. Magneto was a 9.5, Thanos vs. Darkseid was like a 10.5.
Like, fair enough.
Okay. No, not fair enough. No. Listen, we need to have an intervention about this, Joey. Listen, this just does not sit right with me. It's inhuman.
Look, all right. I see what he's talking about, but
I shouldn't.
I have to play devil's advocate, okay? But
you play advocate. You play Richard advocate.
No, I play whoever I want. But I still think, in my personal opinion, and I'll die with that opinion, that All Might versus Might Guy is hands down better than Thanos versus Darkseid in terms of how it improved Unreal Engine and how it made it feel very dynamic, movie cinema level quality. And plus two, I would have been fine if this ended in a draw because it was so damn good that I think, in my opinion, it should have ended in a draw.
Oh, bullshit.
But
yeah, like no kidding, like
my guy scored the killing blow. He wins.
But then
he fucking disintegrates seconds later. So
exactly,
It doesn't matter. He killed him first, so it counts as a win for my guy.
Oh yeah, well, that's us using boxing logic, and this isn't a boxing match. This is a fucking death.
That's
battle.
A fight in general. If someone gets knocked out and the other guy passed out after he knocked out that guy, then guess what? He's the winner. No,
it's not a TKO unless a little Mario in a referee shirt comes out and says it's a TKO.
I'm the referee. You didn't see it. I was deleted. I was there like, my God,
oh no.
Wins.
Anyway, I think we're lingering.
Yes, we're lingering. Right. Point is, overall, All Might versus Might Guy has put, in my opinion, more pressure on Death Battle to try and even come close to giving us another season finale that is as god tier as this one.
Okay, I'll accept that.
Okay.
I tell you what, do you want, before we move on to the second bit, people who do watch this, if you do, put down in the comments, do you think the last fight was a draw, or do you think Mike Guy, he should deserve the win, but do you think he does?
Draw!
Put it in the comments right now.
I think he lost, but that's just me.
Put it in the comments and also put down there, down with Richard. Hashtag down with Richard.
Oh, yeah, no, good luck with that.
But
It's going to
anyway,
be two people. In the
I will
comments.
admit, when you were bringing up the animation, it did kind of remind me a lot of, what was it, Into the Spider-Verse.
Yes.
I was going to say Cats.
How dare you?
Gross. But do you know what? That's a good segue into the Spider-Verse.
The Cats.
Yes.
Shut up.
Spider-Verse versus Cats. That was the season premiere.
Yeah, no. Which movie was better with its fucking
Obviously, it was Cats.
Shut up!
We're not counting the original animation for Cats, thank you.
I mean, it looked better than Thundercats, I'll say that much. Oh,
well, that wasn't a chat. Well, that's not too hard.
So Mars vs. Static, that was the premiere of this season.
Yeah, but is it okay? Call me crazy, but did they purposely do this fight not just because of Into the Spider-Verse's popularity, but did they also do this to give us our first ever Black History Month death battle?
That's a good question.
It came out like a few weeks before Black History Month, though.
Well, it still can count as a Black History Month.
I mean, if you want to say that, I mean, Lucy versus Carnage was a Halloween episode. It just didn't come out near Halloween.
Yes, exactly. Yes, in the same way that whatchamacallit, Frank West and Leon was a Halloween fight because it had zombies. It did. No, I'm saying it should be counted as a Halloween fight because it had zombies.
All right.
You know what else has zombies? The Adventures of Billy and Mandy. Does that count as a Halloween show?
Oh, yes. Absolutely. Anyway, yeah.
All right. Anyway.
Next time.
Wait, we're not talking about...
No. Yeah. Season premiere.
So, I don't know about the whole Black History Month thing, but what I can tell you is that we had another fucking Marvel versus DC season premiere. Oh. Dear God. Are you kidding me?
Hey.
Marvel versus DC fights, and I think those are the best ways to start a season.
Thank you.
On average, Marvel versus DC fights are mediocre.
Well, your face is mediocre.
That's what everyone tells me. But
oh God, now I feel bad.
1, 2, 3. That's 3 seasons in a row that we've had Marvel versus DC as the front runner. Can't say I'm too pleased. But I also wasn't too interested in this matchup, seeing as how I have never watched Into the Spider-Verse, and I think Static Shock has aged about as well as curdled milk. But
you and the other Static Shock people who say that can go to hell.
But that said, it was a pretty great episode, all things considered. Or, Let me rephrase. It was a pretty great fight. The episode was questionable. But,
yeah.
I'm not going to comment.
Oh my God. I wasn't even thinking about the new designs for Wizard Boomstick.
Okay,
oh my God. You have to put it on screen right now.
Yes, you do.
The amazing meme image.
Do you know what else we're going to put on screen? I'm going to say I thought their designs looked better than their originals.
I agree. Never before has Death Battle made me laugh as hard as I did when I saw those faces. Hot damn.
Can we just go back
to the fireman?
Can we just go back to the Edgelord designs? I prefer those so much.
Nope. I prefer these Nightmare Fuel designs. These are amazing.
They're not Nightmare Fuels.
They're definitely Nightmare. Dude, I'm sorry.
Yankee Insane, put up a Nightmare Fuel picture. Okay, now put up Wizard Boomstick next to it. That's
God!
God, it's even worse.
No, it is even worse. Dude, those fucking teeth, those mouth flaps,
those teeth and those lips on Wiz. It's
All
And
the
that-
better to
and that-
suck your face.
and that
Oh my
JoJo jawline. For
Oh my
Riz.
god, he's handsome Squidward. It's amazing. It's
I can't
beautiful.
actually argue with that when you did show me those pictures on Discord.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Y'all should. Man, I don't know who was or was not there for when we talked about it, but man, I was crying from
He
laughter.
was.
It
I
was
can confirm
so
this.
funny.
It
Oh.
was. I
Oh my god! What
I
happened to your face?
I know what the hell is wrong with everyone's face.
Oh my god!
I went
It's
from
so-
uncomfortable from these designs to downright laughing at them, like
it's
not
so funny.
not laughing with them, laughing at them because oh my god, I know Rooster Teeth has to have budget cuts here and there, but good lord, man,
The animation's better on them, though. That's not a budget cut. I don't,
Yeah,
I don't
the
run out-
animation
I've run
was
out of
better.
insults.
Oh, just because just because they could move and they didn't have stick up their asses doesn't mean that it's better. Because
It's
those
better.
I'll take stiff animations rather than these. Thank you very much.
They-
Because at least the old designs didn't make me uncomfortable and then die laughing.
Yeah.
oh,
But anyway, as for the actual fight, I haven't scored it yet, but looking at previous fights, I'd say I'd probably give Miles versus Stanek an 8.5 out of 10. I think
Very reasonable.
it was better than stuff like Aquaman versus Namor. I'd say it's about on the level of something like the Mega Man Battle Royale. Or Aang versus Edward. Like, I think it's good. It's pretty damn good. It was fun. I think they put a lot of effort into making it very Spider-Verse-y, and I can appreciate that. Even though I haven't seen Spider-Verse, I've watched enough reactions to the Death Battle to get the references. One reference I missed the first couple times through was the part where Miles puts his hand on his shoulder and like goes, "Hey." And it shocks
Yes.
him. I didn't catch that until like the sixth time. Like,
Hey.
I mean, I knew he shocked him and it was comedic, but I didn't realize it was a reference to the. Hey.
Have you ever
This is
heard of
clearly
the
made by
shoulder touch?
someone. It's pretty clear that whoever made this was a big Spider-Verse fan.
I
I'm
love
looking at
Stanek's
you,
response
Lewis.
After that, like me getting zapped. What's up with
What's
that?
up with that?
Yeah,
I call that the shoulder touch.
And I call this my taser punch.
Oh my! The banter.
speaking of which, the voices. I think Static was top tier.
Oh my god!
It was
yes.
perfect. Miles, I have not watched Spider-Verse, so I have no clue.
I have, and I will
would recommend it. It's
say,
a good film. Even if
Yeah,
you're
it's
not
very
familiar
good.
with Miles at all, or if you're not even sure about Spider-Man at all, you could go into this, and this would be a great first time about him.
you can go into Spider-Verse and be like, my god, why didn't Brian Michael Bendis get off of his fat ass and give us this Miles instead of giving us Black Peter Parker?
Thanks.
Well, I mean, the comics versions of Miles are still pretty good as well.
Well, the newer ones, yes, whenever he gets a reboot.
My favorite part was when Captain Marvel arrested him because it helped convince everyone that she's awful.
Well, that's not hard to accomplish. But anyway,
You'd think
yeah.
it wouldn't be hard, but Twitter people, man, like they will argue about anything.
No, yeah. Well, anyway, I think Kai did a pretty good job. I saw a lot of people saying, "Oh, he could have been better." I'm like, look, for anybody that wants these actors to be a perfect impersonation of their actors from whatever these guys and girls are playing, that's never going to happen because then they're not voice actors. They're just imitators, and I don't like imitators. I like voice acting.
Well, I mean, you know, imitators
That's
can be good actors
interesting.
too.
Yeah, I think I do think Static was definitely better in the voice department.
Well, yes,
but I think Miles was fine.
yes.
I think
But,
they
yeah,
tried too hard for Miles to try and create a little boy sound for him.
Well, I mean, yes, but there's only so much you can do. Like I'm not just saying all this because Kai, the voice of Miles in this episode, follows me on Twitter. I am absolutely not saying this because of personal bias. And
He's
if you do,
he's not bragging at all about this. He just brought it up because he thought it was necessary.
it is necessary.
But yeah, yeah, good fight though. Lots of fun moments, lots of really cool moments. And you know what? Well, I may have made a jab at Static Shock. It was still part of my childhood, and it was really nostalgic seeing him back and fighting again, and it was actually a lot of fun. I thoroughly enjoyed this episode, actually. I think, while it may not objectively be as well made as like All Might vs. Might Guy, I definitely personally enjoyed this more. Just because it had a little more personal resonance, so to speak. But yeah, a lot of fun. I liked the fact that Static won because he's the character I actually know. But yeah, pretty fun, pretty cool. I think the death was kind of, it wasn't the best ever, but otherwise I think the fight was pretty damn good.
I like to add on to that. I also think this fight was very good.
It's your turn to talk about it anyway.
Oh, okay, fair enough. Damn near great, I might add. Lewis, Zach, and Kid, they killed it with this animation. They said that this was going to be a new style and something that would rival the 3D fights. They weren't kidding. Like, the skeletal sprites they used, the fact that they even customized and made those static sprites from scratch. Like,
wow, that's impressive.
Oh, so they weren't from Munkin or anything?
Yeah. No, Static has one sprite, but it is not the sprite you saw on screen. It's very much I can't describe the particular model of it, but you'll know what I'm talking about if you look it up. And even Miles looked like he had a few touches to him, because I don't know. I've never seen that Miles sprite, so if that is pre-existing and they just touched it up, good on them. But yes, I loved it. I loved the 3D background. I didn't even know. Like, this is how good they've gotten with implementing 3D into the 2D fights. That whole city they were fighting in, that was a 3D rig, and it felt so alive. Like, I love that the characters were just interacting with it, like Static throwing his salsa into the building, Miles picking up a chunk of that said building and just, shoving it. Like, it all just felt alive, even though there's no people in it, and it takes place at night. I love the voice acting. Xenon, Kai, perfect job. I was rewatching Static Shock because it is my personal favorite DCAU cartoon, and I think it is better than some of the DCAU cartoons of the past. That's my opinion, and if you don't agree with me, then fuck off.
Again, we're just insulting all the people that watched it.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Just insult everyone.
Yeah, exactly. No, yeah. But I think if there's one thing I gotta give credit to, and that's the one thing that I was hoping this fight would do, is have...
Sorry.
It's okay. Is have a killer track. This rap track, fucking perfect. I love rap music, and I'm so happy they got Omega Sparks to come back to essentially give us a rap battle, because many people I don't know if many people notice this, but this was actually a rap battle that was put into a death battle. So even if you didn't watch the death battle and you just watched the rap battle first, you could totally see how different these two things were, but they were so seamless together. The verses were just tight as hell, man. And I gotta give SWATs, Omega, and JT Music huge props for putting together this rap track. I really hope that they come back and give us more rap tracks like this.
He actually, not many know this, he actually did some of the lyrics for the TJ versus Balrog. Even though they would rap in an existing song, they essentially did their own version of it.
Yes.
Not many know that.
Yes, and I also, and obviously Omega Sparks killed it as Static's voice in the verses, and same thing with Swats. In fact, I don't know, I love Kai, but I think Swats should have had a go at playing Miles in this episode and doing the rap. That's just me though.
I will admit, Static's rapping voice, and then you hear him talking, just really does not fit at all. You have this deep sounding man, like, yeah, I'm ready to fight and all this, and then you have me getting zapped. It's like having Dwayne The Rock Johnson narrating his life, but then you have freaking Keith David talking.
Yeah, I can agree with that. So
it's just the voices don't mix.
No, they don't. So yeah, I say this is a solid. If I was going to give it a number score, I say it's a solid 8.9. Letter score, I would give it an A, or a B plus. You know, just
I think B plus is probably one.
Yeah, B plus it is. Then this was just a fucking great season premiere. I would say I've gone down saying this. This is the best season premiere we have had since He-Man versus Lion-O and Dante versus Bayonetta.
Would you actually believe me if I told you I've never actually watched He-Man versus Lion-O? I know who wins.
I believe it.
I'll believe
it. You're degenerate enough to have not seen it. I believe it.
Yeah, exactly. You're not.
We're not just insulting our viewers. We're also insulting each other. It seems.
There you go. We're equal opportunity insulters.
Yeah, I'm an equal opportunity insulter. I learned from the best.
I would say Miles vs. Static. Yeah, I'd say the only season premieres that beat Miles vs. Static are He-Man vs. Lion-O and Dante vs. Bayonetta. I think Miles vs. Static is a solid third place as far as season premieres go.
Yes. I give it second place. I'm sorry, He-Man versus Lion-O. You still hold a special place in my heart.
I mean, He-Man versus Lion-O is better than Dante versus Bayonetta, but whatever.
I'll agree to that. Yeah, no, I'll agree. Man, Dante versus Bayonetta is so fucking overrated.
It is a little overrated.
Yes.
But faces are overrated.
It takes one to know.
You already said that, bro. Get fresh insults.
Yes, that's your homework.
That's what your mom said.
Yeah, pretty fun. I have no commentary on the outcome because I don't care.
Yeah,
but I also don't know enough to really make much commentary. I like how they gave light speed reactions to Spider-Man now. I like how they're going full blown, just nonsense with the Marvel.
I know, right? Can you believe 2 years ago? Oh, Carnage can react to Mach 2 speeds. And then Miles, he is fast enough to catch light speed. I'm like, wow.
Yeah. You might have missed it. There's a little note card during the analysis that was like, and Miguel O'Hara, Spider-Man 2099, can react to Mach 5 bajillion speeds because he caught Thor's hammer. And I'm just like, okay. I'm glad y'all are using all sorts of feats that you didn't use back then.
Yeah, thank you.
I do have to say, though, one thing I really did like about this episode, when it came to the spider sense, people exaggerate the spider sense so much. Even Stan really exaggerates. Okay, so I tell Rich, have you given your entire thoughts? I'll put this when I talk about my thoughts on this episode.
Yes, I'm completely done giving my thoughts, and I will hand it off to you.
Okay, so... Okay, well, first of all, I've already said it. I love this episode. These guys have talked about pretty much everything that I liked about the episode. Miles, Static were both great. And I kind of want to talk more about... I do want to talk about Wiz and Boomstick in a way, but we don't have that much time, I'm afraid. So we'll save that for next time.
Yes.
So, the whole Spider-Man thing, ever since Batman versus Spider-Man, even when I didn't watch Death Battle back then, I just know everyone will say, well, in this YouTube video I watched, look how great Spider-Sense is. It's like... The Spider Sense doesn't automatically make you dodge something. It just says, hey, look out behind you, and then you have to react to it. Mm-hmm. It's not something that just allows you to dodge something. Like, if you fire a machine gun, and I have the Spider Sense in my direction, I'm going to have to freaking react to that exact speed as it's coming towards me. if that was my only power, just the spider sense, I wouldn't survive a machine gun. I wouldn't be able to avoid it. And I do like the fact they do acknowledge, because Static is much faster than Spider-Man's Spider Sense, then the Spider Sense would not be as effective as it would be against a much slower or equal opponent.
Yeah.
Because they briefly kind of touch on it in Batman versus Spider-Man. They say, other opponents could outsmart or outspeed the Spider Sense. But they never really dove into it as much. But it was the first season, so I kind of let them off. But they still haven't... They didn't really dive into it as much as I feel like they could have in this episode. I think they should have gone more in depth about how the Spider Sense works. Because it's not the hype. It's not that great. It's a radar. It's like in video games when you see like a red dot on your thing. You have to react to that enemy. It doesn't mean you'll just dodge that enemy.
Well, it's just one of those things where it's like... it's like Spider-Man himself can't... It's a weird thing, because it's like, with the Spider Sense, he can react to things that would normally be impossible to react to, like light, for example. But that doesn't change the fact that he's still, it's not that Spider-Man can move at light speed. It's just that the Spider Sense has the potential to let him dodge things as fast as light. But that obviously that's a really weird and stupid and inconsistent ability. Make no mistake.
In fact, this is something I know as well. People always try and say that, characters like Daredevil are much better. They have a much better senses. No, they do not.
No.
Daredevil's senses are crap compared to Spider Sense.
In order to counter the Spider Sense, you need special anti-spider drugs. Whereas in order to counter Daredevil, you need a loud sound.
No, you just need drums. Boom, 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 boom. Stand up, I can't see.
Defeated. KO.
Exactly.
Oh god, I'm gonna get so many Daredevil fans being like, "Screw you, Billy! You don't know Daredevil."
There's gonna be 6 people tops watching this video.
Oh come on!
I say 3.
This is my attempt at trying to be on YouTube that isn't through shitty animations. No one's gonna remember me for those.
Fair enough.
But yeah, no. Did you say everything you had to say on?
When I was on Miles, I wanted to talk a bit about Static. I had no idea who the fuck this was. Okay, here's the thing. When I saw Miles in the teaser images last season, I was thinking, it's going to be Miles versus Deku. But then I saw this random guy with electricity. I'm thinking, is that a different version of Electro or something? Are they doing what is Miles Spider-Man versus Peter Parker's Electro in a way? No, to be honest, that would be an interesting episode. I would love it if they tackled, what if this version of the hero fought this version of their villain?
Probably
not.
I mean, it's one of those things where it's it'll probably happen at some point.
Maybe.
So I didn't, but here's the thing. I was going to look into Static, but then I figured, no. I'm going to watch the episode and see if it gets me. Because one thing I love about watching Death Battle's analysis is getting introduced to new characters, like with Yang Xiaolong from RWBY. I knew who Tifa was, so I kind of skipped her analysis. But Yang, I was really interested in. So that's the kind of mindset I went into this. And at first I was rooting for Miles because I loved the movie. But after watching Stack's analysis, I had to root for the man. Especially considering what his series is about and how it really does tackle gangs, drugs, bullying, crime, gun
racism.
Racism. It's I have to root for this guy. Don't get me wrong. I'm sure Miles' comics probably have tackled this. If someone can link me that in the comments. But I after this episode, I watched 5 episodes of that Static cartoon, which I kind of have to agree with Gyro. The theme tune is terrible.
Well, it gets kind of worse in season 3.
Yeah, actually, I let me say that. The original theme, I'd say, is pretty all right. I think it's okay. Yeah, I think it was the later theme that became full 90s cringe.
Well, that's because, it didn't become 90s cringe. It became 2000s cringe.
Oh, that's even worse.
Because
the year where Smokey even thought, no, this is stupid.
No, because they got fucking Little Romeo, big popular kid star at the time, Little Romeo, to compose the theme, and what's worse, he showed up in an episode. So, it's Little Romeo's interpretation of the theme that just dated it so hard. I actually liked the theme first two seasons. But it's definitely, regardless of the music, I still think, Static Shock, anybody who hasn't watched that series or hasn't watched it in a long time, please go watch it. It is, God, it was such a great ass
I didn't even
cartoon.
know Static Shock was in the Justice League show. I remember watching it as a kid and loving it. I'm thinking, when they showed that clip of, like, animated universe Spider-Man, Superman with that lecture, I'm thinking, oh, yeah, I'm very tempted to go back and rewatch the Justice League cartoon because I want to see that episode with Static Shock in it. I will admit, though, Static Shock's animation it looks so out of place to the Justice League one. Well, in that clip, that must have been when their universes crossed over or something. That cannot be.
Well, okay, quickly to brief on, they crossed over and they merged in the comics. In the first season, Static Shock was in its own thing. It even had references to DC characters, like one of Static's friends mentioned, just be like Superman, get a Clark Kent disguise. And then by season 2, they're all of a sudden connected with the DCA universe. That's when Batman shows up twice in 2 seasons, by the way.
Really? I did not. Yeah. I'll look forward to that.
Yeah, he crosses over with the Justice League, which that's where they use the Justice League, the 2000s Justice League animation models. And the animation for Static does get better by like season 2, maybe season 3. And then finally,
I tell you what, Jaro, as much as I do want to talk a bit about Static, we are kind of gone over an hour now, so.
Oh, okay.
Should we just Static Shock versus Miles? It was a great episode.
Yes. It was pretty dang good.
So, and as much as I want to shout about it, I want to shout about the next episode that we're getting. I'm really sorry, but
if
I don't do it, Yang Yi Insane's gonna edit in a pun also. She's gonna make a pun of the title, I swear.
That's true.
So
we don't even know what we're calling the bloody show.
Take away her fuel. She doesn't care whose show it is. She'll try and like.
We don't know what it's even gonna be called. Welcome to some sort of Death Battle podcast, unknown name.
I'll call it Death Battle Podcast _6.
My ears are gonna bleed from this next time.
Let's actually talk about Sindel versus Black Canary. So, what are your thoughts, guys? Who do you think is going to win this episode?
I have no idea who's going to win, and I don't really care. This is the most boring matchup. I'm like,
really?
I think it'd be even more boring than Aquaman versus Namor. I actually, yeah.
But you don't really know the characters. Is that really fair to like say?
I think that they're both like some of the most boring characters in their respective series. And it's just
I will agree with you about one of the characters.
Like, it's like, oh man, ladies who scream.
There's a lot more to them than that.
Yeah, there's more. There is. There's more to it than that.
Okay. Well, as far as I'm concerned, it's boring. I'm not interested in this matchup at all.
That could change.
I did predict it.
I think you would actually like these characters after this episode.
Maybe.
Here's hoping.
We'll see.
That's right. Jar did predict this.
The only thing I know of Sindel is she got brainwashed by Shao Kahn because he's a pimp.
I tell you what, this is actually something I have to say, and this really kind of pisses me off about the MK11. So for those, just like Jara said, Sindel was never really evil. She was never straight up and always an evil person. She was just a queen and everything like that. She was a nice person, especially to Katana. When Shao Kahn invaded her realm, he was like, you know what? You're hot. I'm into GILFs. You're coming with me.
Wow.
But she was like, no. Okay, then. You will join me for a...
Look into my eyes.
You will join me for a Takakan orgy later. I will join you for a Takakan orgy.
Baraka, get your ass over here.
Oh, God.
I'm the one with the strap on this time.
Oh, God.
I will say I predicted this matchup. It was one in my template.
Yeah.
Regardless, I'm not interested. I don't care. I hope it's a cool match. But I'm so not into it. It's not even funny. I hope other people are excited.
The bit I was going to say that kind of annoyed me. I did not like how in the MK11 remake, when they introduced Sindel, I was looking forward to her interactions with the characters, but they decided to rechange her story. Because this is a reboot, this is part of the canon now. Sindel was always evil, apparently. Apparently Shao Kahn never killed her husband. She killed her husband, and in one timeline, she then kills Shao Kahn and takes over Outworld. And I'm like, what?
Womp, womp, womp.
It's like, that does not make any sense for Sindel's character at all. Especially even in the when they rebooted the series in MK9, which Gyro thought that's when Sindel was introduced. Do your
I did not think that was when she was introduced. That was this game where she mattered. Before that, she didn't.
So anyway, so in that they do reference the fact that Sindel was brainwashed. She was never mind controlled. Even in her, when you complete her story mission in the tower, she is a good guy now. That's even the thing with Ermac as well. He was always a good guy. It wasn't until the reboot he's just like, oh, I'm evil now. It's like, why are they trying to evilize every character that was never evil?
Evilize.
The only character that is actually good, like he always has been, is Cyrax. But even then, it's like, oh no, we have to fight you, and then you have to sacrifice yourself, even though we could reprogram you to, be yourself again and be even more useful to us. No, you have to die, and we'll bring you back. Okay, blah.
But yeah, I feel like Sindel, I don't remember her in any of the pre-Mortal Kombat 9 games. I know she's in there, but I don't remember her being particularly interesting or relevant.
That's a shame, because one of her moves is, there was one Mortal Kombat game where if you didn't want to perform a fatality, or you didn't want to get someone to perform a fatality on you, you can put in a code to have yourself killed, to not give them the satisfaction. Every character had a unique one. Sub-Zero would freeze himself and explode. Liu Kang would set himself on fire. Sindel would do a freaking somersault and just land on her neck and kill herself.
That's so basic. Wow.
Look it up not right now. Look it up after the podcast.
I've seen it. I just had.
Oh, you've seen it?
Oh yeah. It's like all the others are like super creative, and then she's just like. Why
doesn't she do something like she can fly, she puts her own hair around her neck, and then she lets herself drop and hang herself?
Wow. God. That would actually be a little more creative. But anyway, now what's so dumb about Sindel is that they introduce her at MK9, or reintroduce her as this unstoppable force of nature who wipes out the whole cast. And then but in previous games, barely mattered. And then even in the sequel games, she barely matters. It's like she decimated everyone, and then in MK10 barely matters. She's barely in the game.
Ed Boon really must have wanted to get rid of her in MK10.
Yeah, and then in MK11, she's not even in the base game.
Nope.
She's even in MK10, but you can only fight her in the story mode.
Oh, well,
which
that's
makes me wonder, why not just have her as a character? In fact, Baraka was meant to be a character, but they replaced him with the Xenomorph, which took her to cartoon DNA.
Well, I think these are questions only Ed Boon can answer.
He won't answer, though.
Oh, okay, fair enough. Well,
Ed Boon,
anyway.
Ed Boon, I love you, man. In fact, if I was gay, I would totally want to suck your Ed Boon.
God, so gross.
Yeah, but he's a little too old for me.
You're really bad at writing some characters, especially the ones.
Well, yeah. Okay, I have a little bit of interest in this matchup. I am a huge, obviously, if you couldn't tell, I'm a huge Black Canary fan. I love the character. I grew up watching her in Justice League Unlimited. I absolutely loved her in Brave and the Bold. I loved her interactions with Green Arrow.
With Green Oliver.
Yeah, exactly. Just call him Green Oliver.
Oliver Arrow.
As black as olives.
Yeah, obviously, I love the Birds of Prey, not Gail Simone's version or the new movie version.
Well, that movie's not even out yet, so we can't really judge that yet.
Oh no, I hate what they did to Black Canary in that. I'll tell you after the call. Anyway, so I love the character. I'm going to be nice. I do have some historic history with Sindel. She was part of my Mortal Kombat childhood. So
honestly, the way you were setting that up, it made it sound like you two dated.
No. I tolerated her as a kid. And still to this day, I agree with you. She's just been a huge waste of space. She had a big impact in MK9, and then she just completely got thrown in the garbage. So I don't care for her.
Replaced by Terra who wasn't even in MK11.
Exactly.
He got introduced into the series only to be killed off screen. Not even in the comics.
Yeah, no, exactly. But I think having this follow up Static versus Miles, it's really just, it's not good. It's not good. I'm going to be honest, because to me, it seems like, okay, it feels like we got to take advantage of the Harley Quinn and the Birds of Prey movie, and it just feels like, oh, it's another DC versus Mortal Kombat character, or it's another DC character. So
I was going to say, we've not had a Mortal Kombat versus DC character yet.
No, but now we're getting one.
At this point, Mortal Kombat's fought everyone: Nintendo, Street Fighter, Killer Instinct.
Yeah, now DC.
Can we have fight Sonic next? Can we have Scorpion versus Shadow?
I'll take it. The only thing I'm really hoping for is for the animation to be good. I guess we'll find out this Wednesday.
Has it been confirmed to be Sprite or 3D yet?
I don't know, but I'm going to take it's going to be Sprite. Like, there's no way they're going to use 3D. It would look better if it was a 3D fight.
They could totally do it. I guarantee they could.
No, trust me, it would. But I just hope, for the love of God, do not use Sindale's MK3 live action sprites. Just don't.
Oh, I don't. She has those, doesn't she?
Yes, she does. And live action Mortal Kombat sprites do not go well with modern day sprites, so just don't do it. But
it does have some good Muggin sprites.
Was Black Canary in Marvel vs. DC, or not Marvel vs. DC, MK vs. DC?
No, she wasn't.
No,
that was such a shame. It would have been so troll. It would have been so troll to use an ancient ass 3D model for Black Canary. And
and then,
oh my god! Imagine if they did like a crappy 3D model and a crappy 2D sprite for.
Actually, here's a fun fact for you, Joe. The characters in MK9 that were used from, a lot of them were used from MK versus DC. They were just
I knew it.
Like, Sonya just had her outfit changed, but Scorpion and Shao Kahn were straight up just taken from MK versus DC.
Well, of course, because
they did actually have a new model for Scorpion, but you can only unlock that as an alternative skin when you beat him in the story.
Of course,
Which doesn't make sense. Like, he has this new skin at the final fight, yet for the whole thing they just had like the older version.
Yeah.
A bit weird.
It's kind of weird. It is weird, but anyway, I'm hoping this is a good fight. I'm hoping the animation can be good. I'm hoping the voice actors give it their all. I really hope the music for this is good, because I won't accept anything less from this, and I just hope it's a good fight.
Do you know what the name of the song should be called? Scream and shout and let it all out.
I've heard a lot of those go around.
Let's actually do a prediction. What do you think the track is going to be named for this one?
Okay, I'm going to go with the obvious Scream Queens.
I was going to actually say that.
Yep, I'm going with that too. Thanks.
All right, people in the comments, if you do watch this, let us know what you think the track is going to be.
If it's not Scream Queens, then I deduct a point from this episode.
It could be something even better, one that we didn't think of. We're like, oh, that was clever.
Well, yeah, I mean, I didn't think of What's Up, Danger, so I'll give them that. But anyway, yeah, so those are my thoughts. What about you, Billy?
I essentially gave my thoughts. Well, I mean, not a lot. Okay, I'll just sum it up, because I did kind of give a lot of my thoughts talking over you guys. I do apologize.
Nah, it's cool.
I love Sindel. She's one of my favorite characters. I will admit, people do tend to, I was just exaggerating the whole, she's sexy. She is kind of over-sexualized. Like, she's still the only MK character these days that wears her skimpy outfits, revealing her cleavage, even to her own daughter, which is a bit weird.
I mean, it's part of MK.
I guess incest is okay in Outworld.
Oh, it is.
I don't know about that.
But I think before they rebooted her to be, I was secretly evil this whole time. I think she was a really well written character, and especially when you hear the fact she's trying to fight against the mind control to protect her daughter, even to the point she nearly tried to kill herself to protect her daughter. That's something that, like, you don't really see in many like villains like Sindel. It's just a shame really that they didn't really finish the original Mortal Kombat story. They had to reboot it because their sales were going bad. So they essentially had to change a lot of their characters. It kind of sucks. I feel like Sindel would have joined the forces of good. I guarantee she would have.
Yeah.
And it's just a shame she wasn't even in the story mode in MK11. Because imagine Katana freeing her of mind control. Like, that would have made Katana's story so good. And as for I'm probably going to be the only one that sounds like this, but this is only because I always go for the underdog. I think Sindel might actually win this episode.
Okay.
Because
I
a lot of people
don't know.
Okay, I don't know how powerful Black Canary screams are. People
Okay,
say,
let me give you a hint. Building level.
I did not hear that. Sorry.
Yes, you did.
No, I didn't. My mic just cut out.
Oh, sorry. Okay, let me try that again. Take 2. Let me give you a hint. Building level.
Okay, well, if that is the case, then that is impressive. But of course, Sindel has flight on her side. She has magic. She has loads of weaponry. I would argue she has way more better combat skills than Black Canary. Okay,
I'm
Black
sorry.
Canary is skilled in martial arts. She's fought the best. She's
skilled?
fought Batman.
She's a master. She's one of the greatest. Sorry, she's one of the greatest female martial art combatants in the DC universe.
Okay, well, you got to think though. Characters like Batman and Wonder Woman, they've mastered all their fighting styles. Black Canary has not. She's just more, and not that she's
okay.
listen. She's self-taught. She's self-taught her martial arts. Whereas Batman went and saw I can never pronounce his name. Ra's al Ghul. Is that how you pronounce it?
Yes.
Yeah,
Ra's.
he's one of the greatest fighters in DC to date. Like, he's still considered the best. And Batman's, like, outclassed him, and not only that, Black Canary's not beating him. Like, not at all. Now, if her only weaponry in this fight is shouts, I don't really think that should guarantee her an instant win.
No, she's got a bow staff.
Well, that's the thing. Well, great, a bow staff.
Don't mock the bow staff.
What, does she use that for frickin' Green Arrow?
Sometimes.
But
I'm sorry, continue your
all in
point.
all, I'm rooting for Sindel. She's a cool character. I feel like she is just over-sexualized by the fans. I think she is a great character. Black Canary, I do not really care for. I've seen everything she's in. She just doesn't interest me. She's just really dull. She's just basically the Cammy of DC. In fact, that probably would have actually been a better fight. Cammy versus Black Canary.
Wow, you really hate Cammy that much.
To be honest, she's all right. Just not someone I'd really care if she died.
And
Fair
one
enough.
point in Sindel's favor, like I said that she looks terrible, then she does. But no, I don't think any of the characters look that good in the 3D Mortal Kombat games. Like, at least not the female characters. I think they all look pretty rough.
Your face looks rough.
Again, so I've been told. Yeah, no, I think, like, yikes. Man. Oh, man. You like that bit where in MK11 where Katana beats Shao Kahn? It's like, yeah, that makes sense. Sure.
Okay, to be
Good
fair, Shao
writing.
Kahn's not really as powerful as people think. He's kind of a pussy.
He has
Fair enough.
fucking... One of his endings has him fighting Raiden with such power that they shake the planet.
Did really?
Yes.
Yes.
Wow, I need to look up that ending. That sounds badass.
Also, if she could beat Shao Kahn, then why didn't she before now? Anyway,
Shao Kahn has plot armor.
until he doesn't.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
When Katana was
It's
about
almost
to blind
like
him,
Mortal
he was
Kombat
like,
has bad
"Where's my
writing."
plot armor?"
Right? But yeah, I guess I'm rooting for Black Canary, like, just because I guess I like her slightly more. I don't know. On a scale from 1 to 10, my interest in this fight is like a 2. Like,
Oh, wow.
Mine's a 5.
Mine's in 10.
yeah,
Okay, fair enough.
2. 2 might be generous, actually.
Oh,
Like,
screw you.
I'm so not interested. It's so boring to me. But, you know, thankfully, death battles are coming out at lightning speed this season, so
That's true.
By the
It'll be
time
out
some-
this
yeah, that's
Sunday.
true. So, Yang Yi and Zane, you better get to editing this the moment I send it to you half an hour from now. Like,
Yeah,
wake up
it's
from
like-
whatever you're doing, stop whatever project you're working on, just work on this.
by the time some people got around to the reactions, it was like only a week away from the next death battle, and it's like, wow.
That's
Yikes.
fast.
These
I hope.
reactioners have got more content to make because they can't be
Yeah.
bothered to make their own.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, fuck you.
I'm just joking. I do enjoy watching reactions. They're fun.
Yeah. Anyway,
Saw the opportunity.
90% of my death battle viewing is via reactions, so you know, 'cause it's
Fair enough.
not near, because it's certainly not entertaining enough on its own. No, I'm just kidding.
You deserved one. I took the mick out of reactors. You deserve to take the mick out of my favourite show.
I'm just joking. But yeah, so I think we've covered everything.
Yep.
I think we have.
Thank you all so much for watching. If you,
This unnamed podcast.
we'll talk about it either on the next time, or I'm sure Yang Yi and Zane will probably find something and send it to me, and I'll just put it together.
Yeah.
I'm still going with the idea of Death Battle _6.
It's dumb.
Never gonna catch on.
Everyone took the good ones, all right.
I think Let's Talk Death Battle is probably open.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
we'll see. We will see. But if we manage to get this out before the episode comes out, who are you rooting for? Are you rooting for Sindel, obviously the best character in this matchup aside anyone else? Or are you rooting for Blandy McBlondie, Black Canary over there? Leave your
In other
comments
words,
down.
are you a normal person or are you obsessed with GILFs? That is the question being
Yes.
asked.
Are you a Guildford or are you a Blondie? Let us know in the comments. And of course,
Anyway.
you can find the links to these guys' Twitter accounts and YouTube accounts down in the description below. If I remember to put it down, I'm very bad at remembering stuff like that.
No, it's okay.
I'm sure someone will remind me when the episode is out and they're like, Bill, you forgot about Richard. So, you guys want to do your outros?
Sure. Fuck, what's my outro?
Alright, Richard, your turn to do your outro now.
Like if you enjoyed the video,
There you
comment if you got something to say, subscribe if you want to see more, and as always, have a fantastic day.
Go and support these guys' channels if you can, and I am unfortunately getting rid of my old intro until I can come up with a new one. So just
This could have been your
And,
opportunity to make a new one.
I'll give me time. Anyway, yeah, thank you guys for
Which is why I'm
watching.
not giving
Subscribe,
credits.
comment down below, and this is Saber King signing off.
Black Canary sucks green dick.
Fuck you.
Die.